Few games are the total package. Even the very best have their shortcomings. Sometimes we put up with a game that handles like a boat on sand because of the exciting story populated with intriguing characters that we want to hang out with and possibly romance. Honestly, if it wasn't for the dialogue, I would have shut off the first Mass Effect in under an hour. But more often, we ignore a lackluster or absent story because it's just so much fun to run around, explore the world, and fight the enemies. For example, Borderlands 3 is still one of my favorite games, even though its story amounted to a wet fart in the wind. Despite its narrative deficiency, I still play about 2 hours every night because the guns are ludicrous and the shooting feels so damn good. We've just become accustomed to this narrative mechanical compromise in video games. We've accepted it as the nature of the beast. So it is truly astounding when a game comes along and executes on both masterfully. I'm going to be talking about a game that does just that in this Doc Awesome review of Control. No game has ever gripped me harder in its opening minutes than Control. It's your first day of work at the Federal Bureau of Control, a secretive organization that contains and studies paranormal phenomena. And there's no one waiting for you at the front desk. The halls are eerily empty until you find the director's office.
It's the dead man.
Just in time to see him kill himself.
After the pyramid spoke to me,
You pick up his service weapon, and suddenly everybody that's left alive and unpossessed decides you're in charge. A hostile presence is invading our reality, and they all expect you to stop it. That sounds like the worst first day of work ever. You show up to the office, and the first person you see immediately says, "Congrats, you're the new boss. Also, the building is on fire. What do we do?" You play as Jessie Faden, a psychokinetically gifted woman who has been searching for the Bureau ever since they took her twin brother away when she was a little girl.
It's a pleasure.
She's finally found the place. She's standing in the building full of all the answers she's ever wanted, and she can't get at any of them until she stops some evil vibrations from taking over the world. That has got to be beyond frustrating. Fortunately, controlling Jessie isn't. She is quick and responsive, and her telekinetic powers are a literal blast to use. Jessie can hurl objects with her mind, take control of enemies, even fly for short distances. And all of these abilities can be upgraded to become rather powerful. By the end of the game, you will feel like a Jedi Master. Jessie is also armed with the service weapon, an incredibly cool Swiss Army gun that can transform into a pistol, a shotgun, a rocket launcher, whatever you need to get the job done. To succeed in combat, you'll need to strike a balance between the two, like fling heavy objects to break an enemy's shield so that you can finish them off with your shotgun. My personal favorite is hurling a gas tank into a crowd of enemies and then shooting it, creating this big cinematic fireball that consumes them all. It's very effective. Control also boasts some very impressive physics. You can grab just about any object you can see with your powers, and environments are highly destructible. After a battle with the enemy, the room you fought in is absolutely trashed. Overturned furniture, broken office equipment, shattered glass, and loose papers just everywhere. Sometimes, I would even wreck house in a completely empty room just because it was so much fun to cut loose. Of course, when I returned to that room later, everything would be all neat and tidy again. But I like to think that's just another quirk of the oldest house. You see, the Federal Bureau of Control is headquartered in the oldest house, a mysterious and magical structure that's bigger on the inside, with a constantly shifting layout and portals to other dimensions in the basement. It is also hostile to modern technology, exploding smartphones in people's pockets, which is why the Bureau looks like a government office from 1973. The oldest house is an iconic video game setting, right up there with Grand Theft Auto V's Los Santos or Zelda's Hyrule. It's a place that would be fascinating to explore, even without a main story campaign pushing you across the map. There are areas that will be inaccessible until you upgrade Jesse's abilities, encouraging you to look in every nook and cranny for materials, clues, and secrets. Oh, so many secrets. You will also find copious amounts of documents detailing everything from the anatomy of the invaders to office politics, and it is all fascinating. I read every single line of text in this game, and all of it enriched my understanding and enjoyment of this beautifully bizarre place. Control's narrative is just as well constructed as its gameplay elements. In addition to repelling interdimensional invaders, the Bureau also acts as a sort of prison for objects of power. These everyday items that display paranormal abilities, like a teleporting rubber ducky, or an infinitely replicating post-it note that takes over an entire office. In all the chaos, many objects have managed to escape containment, and all of the best side quests are about hunting them down. A few are necessary to beat the game, as they grant abilities needed to traverse certain areas, but most are just fast and fun miniature fugitive hunts. Reading the redacted dossiers on these objects is where you will find much of the game's sense of humor. Control's story is a meticulously crafted puzzle box. Its inscrutable exterior invites you to take a closer look, start turning it over, poking and prodding at every corner to unlock it. But as each layer unfolds, another mystery is revealed. Even when there were no concrete answers to be found, it never felt like investigating was a waste of time. Sometimes, solving a well-made puzzle is its own reward. Honestly, I don't want to say too much more about it, since wandering around in the dark and making discoveries is half the fun. Control does it all, combining that classic Remedy action with an engrossing story in a very immersive setting. Even after you've completed the main story, you'll want to keep plumbing the depths of the oldest house, finding hidden rooms, fighting secret bosses, and throwing an entire IKEA catalog's worth of furniture. It's one of the best games of 2019, and personally, I cannot wait for some DLC to give me a reason to go back. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. So that's the Doc Awesome review. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Really hope you check out this game. You will not be disappointed. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time.